CMS TV is on the air with coverage from Creation 2016 all season long. We can't wake up next. Laura from the band Comrades stops by as she shares some testimonies behind her band's music. Also, Cosmos Creations, we visit them as they share some of their tasty snacks and their merch spotlight. And in our speaker spotlight, Carrie Abbott shares some of her relationship insights she shared at the festival. It all starts next.
Hey, this is Crowder, and you're watching Christian Music Spotlight.
You're the melody, the words, you're the chorus. You gladly laid your life down for us. For all the blessings that you bring, Lord of lords and King of kings. We will let our voices ring. You're the only song we ever want to sing. You're the only song I ever want to sing. You're the only song I ever want to sing. You're the only song, the only song. You're the only song I ever want to sing.
Welcome back to Christian Music Spotlight. It's the stories and testimonies behind the songs of your favorite artists in Christian music. We are here right now with the band that was a featured artist on the Fringe stage on the second day of the festival. Please welcome Laura from Comrades. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for taking some time out to join us. Now, you all are from Virginia, correct?
Well, we
Originally, I guess?
So, I guess Joe and I were from Virginia, and then Ben, our drummer, was from Massachusetts. But we just recently moved to Colorado, so we all live there now. So, I guess we're from Colorado now.
Yeah. Now, you guys put out a full-length album. I believe it was in 2014, was it?
Yeah.
You guys
a while ago.
have some new projects down the road coming up?
Yeah, actually, we finished recording a new record in April. So it feels like 1,000 years ago because we've been on tour since June 27th. So we're a little frazzled. But yeah, so we just finished recording, and we literally got the masters back like 3 days ago, and so that's being
getting close.
shipped out. Yeah, and then we announce. I'm pretty sure that everything will be ready to go for the announcement of like the date and everything. Should be October 7th, but all that will be finalized and like nailed down on Monday. So we're really excited.
You heard it here. Tune in to their Facebook and social medias. Their new album is coming soon. You guys are out there on the... In fact, you guys have been, on that note, everywhere this summer. In fact, one of our producers saw you over at Audio Feed Music Festival. You guys were out there. What's the funnest part about just going all over the country this summer, just doing all sorts of these different festivals all over the place?
I think really just like seeing people that you know. Because when you play a fest, usually there are a few days. So for bands, it's kind of like summer camp. Or as close as you can get. You're working, but still you get to see your friends. And Audio Feed is one of our favorites. Like, it's so, the community there is just so good. You go there and you're just like, oh, I'm home, because it's just a bunch of DIY bands and stuff. And then fests like this, it's just, you see a lot of things that it reminds me of being a youth group kid, really, And it's really weird when you're, we played Sunshine, and I was like sitting 2 tables over from Michael W. Smith, and I was like, this is my life right now. I was like, I need to call my mom and tell her this is happening. Because, any kid that grew up in church in the 90s, you're just like, Michael W. Smith, yeah. So it was pretty cool.
So 2 tables across, did you actually get to meet him and everything while you were there?
No, I think he said, I'm sorry to Ben, because Ben was walking and he got in his way. But that was it. That was our sole interaction. But I just kept looking over and I'm like, are you real? You're a real person. I know it's really geeky, but I don't know.
We all have those moments.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around for 30-odd years now.
For real. And he just sits there and plays his piano, and he's just so peaceful when he plays. I got excited. Some people were like, this guy, who's this guy? And I was like, you must have not been alive. So.
And since we're here halfway promoting the festival too, on their Facebook and YouTube pages, they have some funny golf cart karaoke videos, and I think Michael W. Smith's Friends song is on every single one of them. So You might want to check that out. So go to their socials and check that one out. For those who are getting to know your music, and for some who may have been their first encounter with your music here at Creation, how would you describe your music to those who want to know more about you?
Well, I guess we're technically post-hardcore. But we kind of just play music that we like. So it has elements of it's really melodic. It has elements of math rock, and because we're all really into time signature changes and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, we really like things to be really fluid and cohesive. So it's not chaotic in a negative sense in any way. I think probably sometimes it gets that way, but it just has a lot of elements of Ben, for a while he was really into reggae music, and Joe and Ben really like R&B and rap, and I like folk music, so we end up with a lot of
Very diverse
elements of things. Yeah, so it is what we like. But I mean, some of our favorite bands are Thrice and As Cities Burn. And Fall. I don't know if anybody would know that band, but anyway, yeah. So just lots of post-hardcore music, really. So I don't know if that adequately describes us. That's my least favorite question ever. So how would you describe yourself?
No, I like that though,
okay,
because
good.
it's eclectic. It shows that your music is not one you can necessarily put into a box, and so it's
Right.
great that it has a little bit of something
Yeah.
for everyone in there, depending on
and,
what's.
And really, we've had people that from ages. I mean, I've had my friends bring their kids to our shows, and they have their little headphones on, and they're all of 1.5 years old, and they'll be sitting there grumpy, and then we start playing, and they're just what is this? This is amazing. And I don't understand. And a couple, I guess it was last summer, I had a guy come up to us, and he was like, "Thank you for writing your record." And I was like, "You're welcome." And he was just like, "It is the only way that I can road trip with my kids." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's just like, "I have I think they were 3 and 5 or something, and the only way that they would sit in the car for longer than half an hour without pitching a fit was if they played our music," which is really weird because it's not written for children, but they really like it. And then we have, dads that come. So sometimes we call ourselves mom dads because the whole family likes our band. But it's fun. It's really cool just to be, so music for all ages.
Laura from Comrades joining us here on Christian Music Spotlight. Great set out there on the Fringe stage for day 2. You guys, now there's been a number of different artists, and that's an astute compliment to you guys. You talk about the Brian Head Welch's of the world, all these different guys that have opened up the door to perform not only in Christian festivals such as this, but in some of the secular ones too. Is there just a great just sense of purpose to be able to kind of ebb and flow and kind of go between those two different festivals, to be able to not only just give a little bit of hope and inspiration with your music everywhere you go, and lots of different arenas open to you guys?
Yeah, I really think that honest music is really important, no matter what affiliation you have, I guess. And we try, and God's such a huge part of our lives, so of course our music is going to be about that. So, and I feel the way that we approach touring and the way that we approach playing shows is just if there's an opportunity, we play it. We played an electric dance music festival last week, and it was so far out of our element, but they wanted us to come. They had a rock stage that year, so we were we'll play. The band we're on tour with booked it, so we didn't really know what we were getting into, but it's just I'm not sure if I was super into the experience, but you never know who's going to be there, and you never know whose life you're going to be able to just be in for that 30 minutes. And so we try and look at every opportunity as just an opportunity to share what's real in our lives with people. And so that's here, that's everywhere that we go. Hopefully that's what we're doing. So yeah, definitely a big sense of purpose in that.
That's great that you guys are able to see the need and are able to go out and fill it like that, and are just willing vessels to go able to go do it like that.
Yeah, and I mean, we're really privileged because a lot of people, our music doesn't necessarily, it can't be pigeonholed. So, like,
Yeah.
we can play lots of different places and we can be in lots of different
Very
scenarios.
versatile. Yeah.
And we also, we're not really a hardcore band. So, like, we don't really, like, get on anybody's turf if we're playing a straight up hardcore show or, like, I don't know. And we're such a different looking kind of band, I think being a female musician in a heavy band, like, it kind of, I don't want to say, like, throws off a little bit of the stereotypes that they would put on, like, a three-piece whatever, but we're just really, I don't know how to say this.
It is interesting.
Like,
it is
fits wherever
interesting,
you
though.
put us.
Is there a lot of stereotypes that you guys feel that you've kind of tried to break down over the years that you guys have been doing this with that dynamic in place?
I mean, there's always the ones where it's like, oh, there's a girl in a band, so, like, what is she there for? Like, and you go to venues sometimes and I get the whole, like, oh, you're the merch girl, and I'm like, well, no offense to merch girls, but no, I am not. Like, I do merch, but, like, I am not just that. And please stop assuming that, because they don't really, sometimes they ask the guys, but, like, 9 times out of 10, they're like, you're a merch girl, and I'm like, ah. But I think that's one of the bigger ones. And then, I don't know. I think maybe the stereotype that three-piece, people tell us a lot of times, I don't know if this is bragging, but, like, they tell us that we sound really big or we sound larger than a three-piece. And I think that's just the way that we play, and the way that we try and, like, sound good, like, have our tones really dialed in so that the music can kind of, like, be what it's supposed to be. That helps a lot too. But yeah, I mean, stereotypes in rock music, it's hard because, I mean, it's like, it usually goes off, like, what you look like, and we wear black clothes, but, like, we're not, I don't know, we try not to front anything like that so that we can just play what we play and people can accept it for how they take it, rather than, oh, this band should sound like this, or that person has swoopy hair, so there should be an emo band, like that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know if that's...
Laura from Comrades here with us on Christian Music Spotlight. With this latest album that's due to come out here in October, what are some of the experiences that you've drawn from as far as being able to write your music? And what advice would you give to bands like you guys who are looking for that type of just rugged honesty in their music?
Ooh, this last record was really scary because all of the songs have words. And for the longest time, we were an instrumental band, and then this past record we have, like, 3 songs that have words, and then this next one, it was just like Ben and I, the drummer, we both write the vocals because he screams and I just sing, and so it was really challenging because both of us, sometimes we would get the really cool, like, oh, I felt this about this song, and then we would put the words that we wrote together and they would fit. But then sometimes it was like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, so the experiences that we had, like Ben and I guess we both, there's a lot of, like, longing in the newer record, like, just about going through really tough times, like when you felt abandoned or when you thought someone was the way that you perceived them initially and then they turned out to be something completely different, or because most of it is about life experiences, just with, like, relationships and stuff that we all kind of went through in the past 2 years, and some of them are specifically about, like me or Ben or whatever, but a lot of it's about, I mean, relationships with people and relationships with God. So yeah, and I think that if your goal as a musician is to write honest, like, heartfelt lyrics, like, really you just have to write them down and then go through, and, like, sometimes it's really uncomfortable when you're trying to express exactly how you feel, and then you realize that how you feel is like really, really raw, not necessarily because you know, that's what you're trying to do, but just because like that's how you actually feel, or like a wound hasn't been healed yet, and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, this is how I feel, this is what I feel about this. And it's scary when you put that in front of tons of people that you don't know, because but at the same time, like, that's what music's for. It's a conveyance. It's supposed to like reach beyond the walls of like time and space that we have, you know, set up for humanity or whatever. But hopefully the stuff that you write will both help you and other people like come to a conclusion about what you're writing about. But yeah, if you want to write it, I would just say write it, and then sit on it a couple weeks and go from there. You know, like that kind of thing is part of the process, like just you growing into the music and the music kind of growing into what it's supposed to be, because a lot of times it gets bigger than what we are as musicians. So I hope that answers your question. But
It does indeed. Great
Cool.
stuff. Laura from Comrades here. Let's show you guys some love, of course. Social media, website, people, where can they catch up with you to learn more about you and your music and where you're going to be next?
yeah, so we're we're on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Our website will be up on Monday. But all of it is We Are Comrades. So like Facebook / We Are Comrades, Instagrams We Are Comrades, Twitters We Are Comrades. So you can, it's all, we try to make it easy for everyone. But yeah, all under that, if anybody's interested.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your honesty in your music. It was a great set out there, full of energy, and it was great to see just the people inspired out there. So keep doing what you're doing. You guys are very versatile and honest with your music, and all throughout this country where you guys go, just many blessings to you as you continue, and much good blessings to you guys with your new album coming out here in October, and
Yeah.
all the best to you guys.
Thanks a lot.
Laura from Comrades here joining us on Christian Music Spotlight. We Are Comrades. Go check them out on social media and their website, which will be up, chances are, by the time you view this on television. We'll be back with more with Christian Music Spotlight, with more stories and testimonies behind the songs from creation all season long in Kennewick. Stay tuned. Still to come on CMS TV from Creation, in our merch spotlight, Cosmos Creation shares all about their snack food products they have on display, plus speaker Carrie Abbott shares some relationship insights with us. Still to come on CMS TV from Creation in Kennewick returns.
Hi, I'm Pastor Harry.
And I'm Bill Darpino, and we are so excited to be able to invite you to Creation Northwest 2017. This year is our 20th anniversary, and we are so excited to be able to do something really special. This year we're going to have championship bull riding.
Woo! That's going to be fun.
Yes. What does someone need to do to find out about it?
Well, basically, go to the Creation Fest Northwest website, and you can get all the information right there. And it's open to the entire community. So it's going to be a fantastic time as we all get together and have championship bull riding.
That's right. It's going to be a lot of fun. All you need to do is go to creationfest.com, click on Northwest. We have all the information there for you. Stop out, see us. It's going to be a fun time. It'll be the highlight of your summer, maybe your life.
Amen.
Hang on. Christian Music Spotlight, stories and testimonies behind the songs of Christian music, and we are here at Creation Fest Northwest. It's our merch spotlight, and we've got a good group of guys right here. Cosmos Creations, they're a Northwest company. You can find their products, which are very tasty, mighty at all over the place. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing terrific, and my job, of course, I have on the side working for Costco, and of course, your products are sold there all the time. I have it on good authority. Pumpkin variety when it comes out in the fall is a tremendous favorite. Tell us about some of the varieties of popcorns and stuff you guys have throughout the years.
Well, we have 8 different varieties. Some of them are seasonal, like pumpkin spice that you said, and some of them are what we call our sugar flavors. And we have coconut crunch, salted caramel, and caramel apple. And then we have the pumpkin spice. We're working on a new flavor that I can't tell you right now. Oh. And then we have our savories, which is sea salt and butter and sriracha and cheddar and pepper, aged cheddar and pepper. So we have something that fits every taste profile. People that don't want the sweet flavor, the caramel flavor, what have you, they go with our savory flavors, and they love the sriracha and the aged cheddar and pepper. So it's a broad spectrum of people that we can reach with all those different flavors.
And that is tremendous. Now, in addition to retailers like Costco and stuff, where can they find your products at if they want to go try some out?
Well, one of the best ways to find it, because America is so big, is to go on to Costco or Cosmos.com and look for their area, and it'll list the stores that we sell in.
Store locator, nice.
Got a store locator. We keep it up to date as much as we can. We sell through distributors, so store locators sometimes aren't 100% accurate. Please forgive us if it isn't as accurate as you might think it should be. Some stores have it that it comes in and out at different seasons, different quarters, what have you. And so sometimes we name a store that it actually isn't in when you go to see it. But that store or that chain of stores does sell our product, and if you wait long enough, you'll see it there.
That's tremendous. How's your involvement with Creation been like? Good response so far here on the festival, having new fans try your products?
Oh, it's been wonderful. Lots of people up here in Washington are not familiar with our product, and lots of people that traveled here to the festival haven't ever tasted it, so our response has been tremendous. The Creation Festival group of people are great to work with. They've been good in every aspect. Anything we needed, it's been a fun relationship so far, and I hope that it lasts for a long time. All our proceeds here that as you can see, we're selling behind me. All the proceeds are going to Creation Foundation, which helps with their orphanages and schools and stuff. And so hopefully everybody will come up and buy product from us just because it helped the organization here.
That is tremendous, and I know you have a lot of fans where we are in the Olympia-Tacoma area. And where are you guys headquartered at?
We're headquartered in Junction City, Oregon, which is about 17 miles north of Eugene.
Okay.
So.
And once again, the website where they can find you guys and learn all about you?
Cosmos.com.
Cosmos Creations. They have every variety you can think of for every taste bud. Sriracha all the way to caramel apple, and their seasonal pumpkin varieties are terrific as well. Check them out, cosmos.com. Our merch spotlight. Thank you for everything you guys are doing. Thank you for your partnership with Creation Fest, and look forward to some great stuff for you guys, and even some new flavors coming down the turnpike. Can't wait to try it.
Yeah.
Merch spotlight all season long here on Christian Music Spotlight. Christian Music Spotlight, stories and testimonies behind the songs of your favorite artists in Christian music, and occasionally we venture outside the realm of music to interview some of your favorite authors, radio hosts, and speakers. And Creation Festival is more than just that. It's more than the music. It's more than a lot of different stuff that happens. Some wonderful, wonderful speakers are here to take part and to give people hope and inspiration here at Creation Fest, and we have one of those speakers right now. Done a lot of speaking and has a couple of radio shows in the Seattle area, so maybe Northwest people are watching us right now, you can hear her show Insights with Carrie Abbott on Spirit 105.3 in Seattle, as well as AM 530 630 KCIS in Seattle. Please welcome Carrie Abbott. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. We've had quite a day here. It's been amazing. Yes, it's so fun to be able to come and speak and also take part in connecting with all the music artists and all the things going on around this whole fairgrounds. It's actually really amazing. I'm sorry if you didn't make it here this year. You should definitely plan on bringing your family and friends and youth group next year for sure.
Been taping some different segments for your show and also doing some speaking here on some of the stages. What have you been sharing with some of the festival goers here at the fest this year?
Yesterday, I talked about God's design for male and female relationships, which always seems to be a popular topic, especially these days. And then today, I tackled a little bit more of a vulnerable topic, which is homosexuality and the transgendered issues. And it's always a privilege to talk about those areas that are difficult, but God has a really positive response to all of those things. So it's always a privilege to do it. We had a great time, really great feedback, and it just continues. And then getting to interview some of our favorites for the show. Just talked to the guys from, for King and Country and seeing the concerts. And my husband's here, and our oldest son and grandkids are here. So we're experiencing it as a speaker and somebody involved, but also getting to be just a participant and sitting in this atmosphere where people are just praising the Lord and hearing the different talents and the different stages and just all of this creative ability. I mean, Creation Fest, it really is a fest of seeing how God uses his creative ability to give talents and gifts to so many people, and getting to share those is really quite something to experience.
Now, talking about relationships here at the festival is right up your alley because you do a lot of it on the radio show, Insights with Carrie Abbott, on both Spirit 105.3 and KCIS. For those who aren't familiar or maybe are familiar with the radio show, what topics do you discuss on that
Yeah, and it's
particular
actually
program?
called Relationship Insights. We talk about anything to do with relationships, so you can imagine the realm is pretty large. We can talk about marriage, we can talk about parenting, we can talk about those difficult issues. We can even talk about what's it like to be in relationship with someone when you're going through a political season. You know, there's everything impacts relationships, and of course, ultimately, our relationship with God, what we're going through, impacts that relationship. So it's pretty vast, and we have some of the smartest guests on the planet. We really do. We're really blessed to have some of the sharpest minds, some of the godliest people, authors from all walks of life, and we have a lot of Christian authors on. But I'll even bring people on who are social science experts, because a lot of what we get our confirmation on what the Bible says comes from social science data, or even science that you get from the brain. It's amazing how our design confirms what the Bible has always said. So it's so vast that it's really almost amazing. I'll never run out of material. I'm just saying, there's just so much, right? So yeah, that's part of it.
What do you enjoy most about, not only on the radio show, but speaking at festivals like these? What's one aspect that you really enjoy most about doing all of that?
Well, that's a great question, actually, because the two mediums are quite different. I started doing radio about 5+ years ago, and it seemed very unnatural to me, although I was told I was a natural at it, and that was God's design. He made me do it. And people that listen to the show know I confess that I told him no initially, and he's like, oh yeah, you will. Because there's nobody there, right? Unless I'm interviewing someone. But it is a privilege to create a platform for the message that God has given that person. And so I feel like I'm being hospitable to their message and giving them a place to go as far with that as possible. And it's an incredible privilege. And so I find great joy in that. Teaching is really my passion. So getting in front of a group of people and trying to bring a profound message and make it simple and applicable, but still have an impact in their life feels like a privilege. So they're different, and I kind of get excited about both.
And the organization you lead, the Legacy Institute, is an extension of that, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I co-founded that, 15 years ago, and our goal was to create resources that were excellent. I found in the Christian community many years ago, I've been in nonprofit work for a long time and teaching for 27 years. I found that Christians were kind of okay with making copies of things that just looked okay. And I thought, that doesn't make sense. We should be excellent in our materials and in our presentation. And so we've tried to produce materials for parents and schools and churches and individual families on relationships and sexuality that they can actually use, that are actually done really well. And, that's the focus.
Carrie Abbott hosts Relationship Insights with Carrie Abbott on our good friends, the Spirit 105.3 in Seattle. So catch her on there, or KCIS, their sister station of Christian Ministries in Seattle. When they're leaving the festival, when they're hearing so many different speakers such as yourself, what's the main message of hope and inspiration that you want them to take from here and take back in their relationships and take back in their communities? What type of hope do you want to instill there?
Well, on my topic in particular, I'm hoping that they know that God loves them no matter what they've gone through in their relationships. Everyone comes in with a relationship story. So everybody's impacted by the truth that God has. So I'm hoping that they experience it, that they know God loves them, and then He actually has a blueprint they can follow, much like a plumb line. A lot of us have experiences that kind of go away from God's plan, often because we didn't know what the plan was. When somebody spells out that blueprint for you in that plumb line, then you can kind of self-correct and say, oh, I didn't know I could do that. I'll try that. And my goal is that they would leave knowing, all right, I get a do-over. I get to try that. It's never too late. God has called me to be in relationship with Him and other people, and I want to do it better. And that's usually what happens when you sit in on teaching like what I've done and what other people are doing, is you feel invigorated because you get that chance to start over again. And then the music and the atmosphere and the worshipful nature of it that's created at creation really helps envelop that and kind of package it up a little bit.
Special thanks to our guests Carrie Abbott, Comrades, and Cosmos Creations for joining us. Join us next time. We'll have Caleb Ray, Harbor and Home, and more, with more of your stories and testimonies behind your favorite personalities in Christian entertainment right here on Christian Media Spotlight all season long from creation. See you next time, everybody.